all other comebacks watching this channel. Welcome to another of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Labourite alive. Good morning, my people. Good morning. Now, let's roll out the morning shout outs and let's get into it. I got several things that I want to say this morning. Pardon. Mama Janet, good morning. Larry, big up yourself. Elaine McClarity, big up yourself. A Hutchins, so big up Larry. Mr. Larry already. Big up yourself, Larry. Karine, big up. Carlene, big up yourself. Ian, big up yourself. Preston, big up. Warrell, big up yourself. Jacqueline Chambers. Father Victor, big up. Good morning to my beautiful wife. Good morning, baby. Caroline, big up yourself. Elements Grill, big up. Lisa Hall, good morning. Mama Winsome, Nemadsha, good morning. Winford, big up yourself, good morning. Rodney, big up yourself. Guys, I'm doing okay. I am fine. I feel great. See? I got a call this morning. And on that phone call, I was told that we have 12 deaths in Westmoreland Central. 12. I did not know this. I thought nobody died in Savlamar. I thought nobody died in Westmoreland Central. So we have 12 deaths confirmed in Westmoreland Central. On that phone call, I was told that a few of those persons died because they did not have any, and these are elderly and disabled, did not have, the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation does not own or had on contract a vehicle to come and help these persons to get to a shelter. Can you believe it, my people? Oh, good God Almighty. Can you believe it? A municipal corporation that takes in $500 million a year. People are dead because the municipal corporation who is responsible for preparing for a disaster. A mayor that has been to meetings with the local government minister to talk about the preparedness and get ready for a disaster like this one. Big up in the nuts. Good morning. Hanif, big up yourself. Good morning to my beautiful mother-in-law. Can you believe it, my people? People dead. People are dead this morning because they were not able to be helped by the people that is there to look after them. And them are things I'm talking about all the while, you know. These are the things that I talk about all the while. The people that is there to look after the people, they are lacking. Not even one little bus, one minivan, nothing is available for persons to get help to move to shelters. And everybody a family. Absolute disgrace. I was shocked to learn that this morning. Now let's move to the aid that landed yesterday. Any of you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I post that 2 Chinook helicopters landed on the Reno sports complex last night. See? Aid was unloaded and persons was told that it is the MP that have supremacy. Now, DUJON'S had said yes that George Wright brought Chuck to come and take away stuff. That is not accurate. Dan, who is the deputy mayor, was representing DUJON'S yesterday on location. And they are the ones who came to take away the stuff to bring to their people. I was also told by a reputable source, my people, that people that they know that is affiliated to Councillor Chang Those persons are being turned away from the aid. So my Prime Minister, I'm going to send the Prime Minister a message today. My Prime Minister, there is people in Savlamar that is being told that the situation is rough and they have to fend for themselves. And people tell me, say the MP DUJON'S said this. So him drive up in a car and crack in window and tell them, so them have to fend for themselves because it's rough. That is the image that is being portrayed about the government in Savlamar. So that is why you see people in Savlamar is saying that they are not getting any help and there's no aid because the MP is walking and telling people that they have to fend for themselves because it is rough. I was also told in one instance, a night shelter, there's not even one light, not even a solar light there. People don't fear use kangaroo. What is wrong with this municipal corporation? Are they not to look after the people? I was also told in one instant, good morning, Mrs. T. Abigail, who is not an elected councillor, was on the ball field yesterday when the captors land, saying that she's there to collect stuff for the Cornwall Mountain. Is Abigail the councillor for the Cornwall Mountain Division? And when she was turned away, she collected for the Petersfield Division. Is she the councillor for the Petersfield Division? What is going on in Westmoreland, my people? Yeah, man, DUJON'S World on all platforms. IG, TikTok, Facebook. DUJON'S World. Big up yourself, Michelle 1000. Good morning. Sylvan, big up yourself. These people, all the while, is playing politics with the lives of the people. And me enough people fall out, my people, over this politics thing, you know. Me enough people not gonna chat again ever, you know. Me enough people have to fall out over this politics thing, you know, because I see the PNP and their supporters, them not do the right thing, and they not think to do the right thing at no point in time. They have a leader that continue to play politics instead of uniting and standing in unison and dealing with the thing how it's supposed to be dealt with. Now, Julian Chang, I was told, is the councillor. Anybody will go tell me, say, Julian Chang tell me. Me and Julian Chang no argument. I know she tell me nothing. And for the person where for the person who message me, I say, my heart must stink. No, my heart not stink. Me just put on it in a life alone. Only when I come live, I put it on my head. So it not stink. No. Anyway, you know, I have my ear to the ground. I have people down there that is listening out for things and telling me things. You know, I am not down there, remember. So I have to get my information from somewhere. See? Stop playing politics with the life of the people in Westmoreland. And it go backfire, you know. Remember, so I'm telling you, say it go backfire. Because you see, once the internet come up properly and people start see what really take place, these people are collecting. These people are collecting the aid and they are chucking it away. They are chucking it away. And not only did the helicopter land, you know, not only did the helicopter land and brought aid, the PNP have sent in trucks of aid, and the PNP councillors are taking that aid and storing it at both home and their facilities, and they're taking the government's one as well. These people, they are behaving so gluttonous and craven, typical. I was called and told that DUJON'S went into a supermarket to get aid for the people. And DUJON'S took ample amount of liquor, alcoholic beverage. What am I do with that? Who want that in a them time here? A rice flour and mackerel and sardine and bully beef and anything they're supposed to worry about to give the people them. They don't like me, you know, because I come go tell the people the truth that about them. The Chinese community, I'm telling you this, I never, ever, 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 in next Jamaican me here, I try to disrespect a Chinese. Me and Uno got in a big problem. Remember some did one, you know. Any Jamaican me here, I try to disrespect any Chinese. The Chinese people have stepped up for the Jamaican people. They have. Look at Jamaica. 6 days. 6 days it took for power to restore in certain areas. 6 days it took for cell signal to restore in some areas. Some areas didn't even lose electricity or Wi-Fi coverage at all. Big up in the melody. Good morning. Anyway, my people, we know we have to run through 2 clips same way, so we have to go through 2, I clip them, 2 audio, and we have to listen to some update as well as to what is going on. Let's play this one first.
I just want to say thank you to Chucky and to all of the Chinese Jamaicans who are coming together to give back. This is what you call unity. Now this is going to be used to assist volunteers who are going on.
This is myself. This is only me alone.
Only you alone.
Only me alone did this.
We appreciate this. A lot of cases of water, a lot of bread, a lot of crackers can help our volunteers to go out and be able to serve.
On behalf of myself and the Chinese community, I want to help the Jamaican who are fully devastated, who have destroyed them house, who want to try to get back them on their feet as soon as possible. My pleasure.
So big up the Chinese them. You know, they are helping in every single way possible. They are helping their staff, food, you know. The PNP's contention is that they should be given money. They want money in their pocket to distribute to their people. But we know how that go already. The government must never, ever, ever, never release any money, give any PNP. Even the 10 million where government are giving, me disagree with it. You better if the government give the money to the NIS and make them go in the area, assess people's homes and buy them ply and zinc. I prefer them do that. The MP they don't forget dollar. None of them. PNP or JLP. That is what I agree with. Give an agency the money. Make an agency go in, assess the damage, buy ply and zinc give people them. You know? Not that we don't trust for we MP, but just for fairness. Right? We see this one.
I want to just take a minute to speak to those of you who are hardest, those of you in the parishes of Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James, St. Elizabeth. I know that your needs are immediate. I know you are anxious. You're dealing with the trauma of an event that you could never have imagined. Your question is therefore, when are we going to help? I want to give you the assurance that we are working all day, every day to make sure that we come as quickly as possible. You know that the JDF is working with the Works Agency and the Constabulary and our fire brigades to try to re-establish communication and access to communities to which we have no connection at this point in time. I want to assure you that that work, it is being done. Help is on the way. Even our international engagements and partnerships are geared at making sure.
And big up Michelle Thousand. Michelle Thousand said, by the way, guys, my company has been doing packages as well. We did 600 bags yesterday and we were and where we get our supplies is the same place that supply Price Mart, sorry. And these was not enough. And there was not enough water. We got less. Sorry. Okay. So big up yourself, Michelle. Like me say, everybody have to do for them little part. You know, me have some cousin come down this morning as well do for them little part. You know, and I also chip into that as well to help to aid that process as well. I don't know me a separate thing separately as well. Sylvan said one of the MPs said she don't know where to start with 10,000. That should be 10 million in her community. Michelle, everybody buying water, that means supply is going out. And Mark and Peter Bunting, Mark Golding and Peter Bunting, actually, we are take call, but we not ready at Marlon. Yeah, give me a second. We just get through the audios. Mark and Peter Bunting actually have a company that takes in rice, flour, water, and those things, especially. So, you know, those things should not be in short supply.
Ensure more people come in with those skill sets to come and help you. We've had 300 people come in from El Salvador, trained in search and rescue, trained in public order, trained in delivery and allocation of disaster response, trained in health. So, and they are coming with medical supplies and other humanitarian support to help you. We've been engaging with the United States of America. I know you're seeing new helicopters flying overhead to supplement our JDF fleet in order to bring help to you even faster. These are the things that we are doing on the government side and on the foreign policy side in order to leverage all of our international relations to help you. So I ask you to be patient. I know it's hard. We ask you to understand that we are doing our best to get to you. I know it's hard, but we are coming. We will be there. Help will be fair. It will get to everyone, and it will be what you need. We're going to do our very, very, very best in that regard. You have the commitment of this government of Jamaica to you, the people of Jamaica.
Try to get back the money.
No, I saw where the Prime Minister said that he was giving $10 million to each MP for shelter. And I saw persons commenting under that saying, if 10 million can build back house. Me refuse to believe. Sometimes I last words, but me refuse. So we can't believe so there's actually persons in Jamaica who is that are illiterate my people. You know, me refuse to believe that. You know, so we're gonna watch some clip from YouTube as well. So occasionally we're gonna hear one ads pop up. Apologies. See?
For preventative maintenance, whether or not the question was whether or not I thought that that process was sufficient. And I would say, obviously, remember, there is no perfect mechanism. And whenever these weather events occur and we have to make. So, for example, we thought that when Melissa was coming, the eastern end of the island. As it turns out, it went more southerly and westerly. So it's very difficult to make the allocations, especially on unpredictable events such as weather events. The prepositioning of aid. My understanding is that there was prepositioning, particularly at parish councils and other such installations.
You know, as the Prime Minister said, that told that there is a container with bedding, cots, blankets and sheets, pillows at the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, and none of it is being distributed to person. None. because they have an agenda to say that the government is suffering the people. Oh God Almighty, man. Oh God, may I tell you now. If you don't know me feel sometimes.
But I am not hereby saying that there was pre-positioning of aid at every parish council. But yes, there was pre-positioning. The accurate accounts of death, this is of particular concern to me, because the death toll, the last figure I heard was somewhere in the region of 30, 32. But there are deaths that have not yet been, we know of them, but we can't account as to whether or not they were directly related or indirectly related. And so they are going through that process, as well as there are deaths which we know of, but we haven't yet recovered the bodies. Yes, and people have resorted to burying. However, just to be clear, we will recover all bodies, even if we have to exhume. And we will go through a process of proper identification and, where possible, determination of death. The science is there to do it, and we will do it. We have to account for every Jamaican who lost their life, because we have to account to their families as well. And we have to get a full understanding of the impact of the disaster. I'm told that your constituency so far has the highest number of deaths as a result of the passage of the hurricane. So we have some forensic teams here, and they are already starting to do the forensic checks on the bodies that they have recovered. I want to say to Jamaica that we should prepare our minds that the number of deaths may be more than what we are already hearing, because we can't tell you now that we'll recover everybody right away. It does take some time, especially in communities that are marooned. And it is really unfortunate. It is just the reality of the situation when you are hit by a Category 5 hurricane. You asked about assessment.
So, on YouTube, Karine, YouTube is particularly their guidelines, you know. Yes, I can show videos, but, you know, especially if the video is taken from somewhere else, they'll like the copyright strike you. Also, you have to use another platform to show videos on YouTube. You can't show videos on the raw YouTube. You have to go somewhere like StreamYard or another streaming platform to show videos. So I'll just rather use audio, and we listen and we just hear what them I say. We don't have to watch no video, and then me not get no copyright. See? So sorry, we just have to look for my cute face, you know, and yeah, we are listen to the video. See?
For deploying assessment personnel, you asked that question, the member from West Central, St. James, and others asked that question. So the Ministry of Labour and Social Security does not have enough social workers to cover the assessment that will be needed. So what we're doing now is to look internally in government to see what other resources we have that could be deployed to augment that. Before the hurricane, I had given JDF the directive that they must augment the resources at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to do.
You know, Dan Lawrence, that question must be a rhetorical question, because where did anybody get money to build anywhere in the first place? You know, this is a disaster. And while government can't help everybody. Some people have to go help themselves. And the most desperate persons. Because I know every house fall, you know. Some of my house them gonna fall. You know. Government will help to build back the roofs. And if you want them to completely fall, government have to go give them ply and zinc. I just decide right now. You have to then go build back your life after that. See? We don't can't expect government to build house give every single persons. Eh? It just not possible. We don't have unlimited resources. Right now we economy tank, because places are not opening and trading and doing business. So right now the economy a tank. And we have to think about all of the things that we have to pay for. See?
Labor and Social Security to do the assessments, going to the communities and the building assessments, people who need aid, all of that. So we are looking at the SDC officers, we are looking at all of those, the CDF officers, all of those entities, and in addition to the registry of volunteers that we are creating. So though we don't have enough to do the assessment, we project that we will have a good core of assessment personnel, and we are giving ourselves 2 to 3 weeks to have that stood up properly. But it doesn't mean that work start in 2 to 3 weeks. We start with what we have and we expand and scale up. So that's the answer to that. You asked if I thought the conditions in shelters were adequate. I'm going to answer the shelter questions all in one. No, I don't think the conditions in the shelters are adequate. No Jamaican could say that. I have toured shelters and several.
But most of these shelters aren't even real shelter. They're not purpose built. These are schools and places where we do other things too. So what kind of question? I see people have said Dayton Canberra, a bad question, that a real question. Dayton Canberra is a leader. Eh? We don't no purpose built shelter like that, except for 2 infirmary and 2 where Desmond Mackenzie open at Kingston. We don't have no purpose built one in every parish, or 2 or 3 in every parish. We don't have that. One day we shall get there though. The shelter, them are school and hospital and clinics and them thing. They are them that are in church. And them think they are shelter, them have to go back to normal. So what kind of adequacy then did we have? Eh?
Several occasions, not just in this disaster, but in several others. And you can understand why people don't want to go to shelters. It's a last resort. But, this is what shelters are. Not in Jamaica, in Katrina, in all the other hurricanes and things that have happened. It's the reality of shelters. They're not the most comfortable of situations. But our situations here, though, I think we can do better as a government, and we should strive to do better. We can't argue that case. The challenge with our centers, however, and the question was asked whether or not we should build, I believe the member from Southeast Centre asked whether or not we should build purpose-built centers. And I'd answer you this way, member, no, we should not build purpose-built exclusive centers. We should build facilities that can withstand disasters, that can double as shelter when needed. That's the answer. So the issue comes down to shelter selection, and many shelters that were selected that just did not withstand the hurricane. So we have to do a better job at shelter.
So what will happen while style politics is people will need emergency roof. The best solution for now is to get them zinc and ply. But over time, persons have to build back concrete structure. And the government must stand ready as the economy open back and we make some money. If we set aside 100 million US, because we make 20 billion US for a year as a government, as a nation. If we can set 100 billion Jamaican dollars, not US, so that is dedicated to rebuilding. Now we can do it year by year. And a whole heap of people will get aid that way.
Selection. But the decisions that we have to make now in the rebuilding is whether or not we are going to rebuild some of these facilities in the way that they were built before. So we have to make decisions about concrete roofs, about the strength, having a strong, what we call a safe room. So these are decisions that we will make to improve the quality of facilities that would be available for shelters. I'm going to deal with the issue raised by the member from Central Westmoreland. But when I get to that, when I get to your questions, but you did raise some shelter questions. And if I think that there was enough food provided for the shelters, absolutely. I mean, obviously no. The way in which the shelters operate is that they can't put all the stock in the shelter all at once. The concept of the shelter is immediately you get enough to probably carry you through the storm and immediately after, and then you're restocked. With a Category 5 hurricane, the best laid plans with a Category 5 hurricane will be destroyed. That's just the reality. So no, we obviously didn't have enough food in the shelters immediately after. And that is something we will have to look at in our planning for the, God forbid, for the next disaster. But we will have to take a second look at that. The issue of urgent care after the disaster is one that we are very much seized of, meaning people who probably have a cut, or they've fallen and broken their arms, or they need access to their medicine. So what Minister Tufton moving around and trying to do is to mobilize mobile centers. So the NHF has already mobilized their mobile pharmacy and mobile clinics. And I'll ask him to give an update as to where these are and how they can be accessed, meaning that MPs can say, could I have it here, could I have it there, schedule created so that it can move around and everybody can get some access to it. And then the use of modular or prefabricated housing, containerized housing solutions. As I've said, I've tasked Minister Montague to look at what is best in class for this, to see whether or not we can get them in quantities that we can deploy, and then to answer the question posed by from St. Andrews Southwest as to whether or not the rules of government, I suspect to mean ownership. Once we give them, we usually give them, it becomes their property, but it really depends on the land on which they're going to keep it. So we'd have to make sure there's some permission from the people who own the land when we put the containers on it. That's basically the answer for that. It shouldn't be a big issue, but at least permission to use. Yes. All right. Member from Central Westmoreland. Should there be a special allocation of constituencies that have a higher density of wooden houses? Very a novel consideration, obviously. And I see that you're trying to be a good MP, utilizing your special condition to appeal for special resources. But it's something that I would have to think of. I don't want to tell you no, but it's something I would have to think of very carefully, because that means I would open the door to somebody and saying, the highest number or something else. But I think the allocation given, I'm not going to say they are sufficient, but it is a good start to address the issues that you have. You asked, how will houses be repaired? Will it be centralized or will it be devolved?
Michelle a freeze again, my people. Don't tell me if me a freeze or a Michelle. Don't tell me, talk to me now. Not here. Everything good when I see me. Because Michelle says she a freeze, So don't tell me if a me a freeze or a Michelle a freeze or what. Now hear me? Alright, Bertie say yeah. Me a freeze. Melody say seeing and hearing. Larry say clear. So it look like Rosalie big up. It look like some people not here and some are here. Alright, we run the clip. You not hear me though, clearly now. Alright, cool.
We will use a multiplicity of strategy. So some houses are going to be repaired because people will go to the NHT, get a loan, and repair their own homes. So we facilitated by those loans. Some people will get grants and they will repair their own homes. But there are other persons who have no capabilities whatsoever, and the government may very well have to undertake that. We are considering how that can be done, particularly for elderly, pregnant and lactating mothers with lots of children. So we will have to figure out how to deal with that. But then there are others who just need a grant, and they will find their way. We will provision that. And the question you asked.
So, on a year, I just don't want to make on a year the part there, because down at Westmoreland, them already start telling people, them say, if you don't have no title for the land, the government not help you build back a house. Bullshit. Nothing no go so. See?
About a centralized work, something we are thinking about, and it is particularly of interest to the donor community, because they would like to be able to say, we have completed a building. Many of the donor community, they would like to say the number of buildings they have repaired. And so that might be a strategy with the donor community. Possibly, that's what I'm saying. With the donor, they may want, instead of giving a contribution and somebody putting on their own roof, they may prefer to do the entire thing. So it's a multiplicity of strategies that will be. It's not just one. Now, you raised the issue of the politicization of benefits. And the member from South St. James also said that what I presented here does not match the reality she experienced. I will not debate that point. Your experience is yours. My presentations are based on, as you have said, the reports I get from technical people, from yourselves who send me notes and issues, and from what I have seen for myself. And therefore, what I give is a combined report, and we try as best as possible to ensure that it is credible. So if I come to Parliament and I give an incredible report, it doesn't help me. There is no benefit to give a report that does not match the reality. Now, my report may not match the reality that you experience, but it matches generally what is happening. And I give you an example of what I'm saying. The JDF, in the third day following the storm, executed a search and recovery exercise. The second day, the member from South St. Thomas West called me to say there was someone marooned in the middle of a river. Apparently he was there for overnight and his foot apparently broken. And the JDF went and conducted an exercise to retrieve it. Who knows? Is it the fact that the JDF did nothing? In other words, we won't know everything that is done. But it's my job to know everything that is done, even if I don't get everything, but it's my job. And I do try to come to the House and give as accurate as possible. And there are several.
Dalia, that is Marlin Malawi Fort you're looking at.
All of them. Rescues that have been done, medevac, delivery of food, all kinds of things they have done, including rappelling, many of them, because to get into some of these areas, yes, they did rappel. So, yes, that to answer that point. All right, let me move quickly to... to all right. You also mentioned, member from Central Westmoreland, that aid was delivered, humanitarian aid was delivered in your constituency. And the caretaker received the aid. Now, commandeer, that was his exact term. Now, well, let me put it to you this way.
You hear that? DUJON'S say that he had dropped off in the constituency yesterday. That's what he said in the parliament. And George Wright took the aid. See? That's what DUJON'S said, you know. Tonight I'm going to show you guys a video of George Wright just standing and looking. You know. See if me have it on here. No, I don't have it. But tonight I will show you guys of George Wright just standing and looking what is happening. DUJON'S said that George Wright came and took the aid. When he sent Dan and Abigail and the new chairman for the Savlamar South Division that they kick out Julian Chang and put in Ed his call, and several others that went there with trucks to collect the aid, saying that the MP sent them. Now DUJON'S was lying on George Wright.
Commandeer, that was his exact term. Now, well, let me put it to you this way. In dealing with information, Madam Speaker, you have to be so careful to give the complete picture. My understanding is that there was a delivery of humanitarian assistance where the deputy mayor represented the MP, the member from Central Westmoreland, and he collected aid. And I'm saying they collected. Because everybody else would have gotten 30. All the councillors got. Madam Speaker, all the councillors got. A church, was it 2 churches? So,
Then catch Vaz in a line, my people. Say lie.
my figures here, and we can debate the figures, you know. I'm not debating the figures because that's not what you're debating. What you are saying is that the aid that was delivered was all taken by and that is obviously not true. So that's not true. That's not true. No. You know, I don't want to quarrel over the aid, but I want accuracy. Because it is not true that the former MP just took everything. But you neglected. No, that's not. And if you say that, then member, I would say that you are not being truthful. Because there were
members, Prime Minister, I know you do not need my protection.
There were 10 beneficiaries.
All the talking over there, no one hears you. No one. Member. Members, respectfully, I can't hear the responses, so unless you're not interested.
The PNP have no respect for the rules and for the house, my people. I know why are they there. We need to ask them to appear by video link. That way we can turn them off. Just ask them to appear by Zoom. That way we can turn off their screen when they don't talk. That is what we need to do.
Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But look, I don't want to disrupt the spirit that we are building. But in the interest of accuracy, now, it raises another question. Are caretakers legitimate persons of standing and leadership in the crisis? It's a question to be asked, I have not yet answered it.
We have more than you.
It is a question, Madam Speaker, to be asked.
What's your point of order, member?
Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister is attempting to answer a question, but I think he's misleading Jamaica because what the issue at hand is that the minister called the MP and gave him some instructions. George Wright and others turned up and subverted
Member.
what was supposed to happen.
Member, that is not appreciated, member, and it keeps being done. You are not to use the house to abuse individuals outside of the house using the protection of the house, because I don't know that your information is correct. Member, and for all Prime Minister, hold on a minute, for all members, the Prime Minister sat respectfully and quietly, and he listened to every question from every member without disrupting any one of you. The Prime Minister listened to every single question. Wrote them.
Look at speaker if you talk to big people them and then still not stop my people with dome, you know? If we take this election I did bad, we don't wait for the next one. With dome. You don't hear me telling you? Oh.
Down and is attempting to answer members. Prime Minister, I would hope that the members give you the respect that you gave them.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I close this presentation on the question that seems to be so controversial regarding the distribution of packages in central Westmoreland, 300 packages were distributed directly to the communities. My report here is that 500 packages went to political representatives, and which includes councillors who got the majority of it, and your representative, Mr. Member of Parliament. 50 went to a church, and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security did some distribution directly as well. 500 went to political representatives. So the gravamen of the member's question that he asked was that aid was distributed in a political way to the exclusion of himself, and that was not accurate. All right. But I'm saying that it was not accurate. Now, Madam Speaker, Southeast St. Andrew, the member from Southeast St. Andrew asked about whether or not we have received the payments from CRIF and from the catastrophe bond. They have been approved, I understand, but we have not yet received them. But I suspect shortly, Minister, will be receiving payments. You asked whether or not we have
Can't say me tell you a long time so DUJON'S a liar.
mobilized I'll allow the minister to give that update to the nation. CRIF is 70, but we have seen a letter that says we will get the full payout. But let me see what we actually get. Yeah. Then you asked whether or not we have mobilized all the possible avenues of financing available from the multilaterals. And we have.
Judah, when the man said that, the man said 500 aid packages came. He said 300 went to the community, 50 went to a church. See? And a rest share up between councillors. And that the man say. Which part the man say food go to the upper class? So no. I want to listen, I want to learn. Shanice was there, so I know exactly what took place there, and I got video evidence. May I show you tonight, George, right? Standing. Just standing. Just standing and doing for the George, right? Take a whole like he had gone with it. Pack it up in a truck and gone with it.
We intend to utilize everything that's on the table. We have to. Northern Clarendon. Northern Clarendon. Member, you asked about when will the Ministry of Health begin spraying and water treatment. For your constituency, it's a matter of accessibility. So as soon as the roads are accessible, the Ministry of Health team will be in your area. I have made a special note of this, and I have sent it to Minister Tufton. I know the areas that you're talking, they can become waterlogged very easily. You get a lot of rain even after the event, and so yes, we will mobilize quickly for that area. You asked whether or not I believe funding was enough for preventative works.
Come on in.
Guys, we are watching from YouTube. Sometimes ads turn up.
It's well, certainly for this hurricane, no. We just didn't have enough. We couldn't do all that we wanted to. But what we have done under normal circumstances would be sufficient to help us through a hurricane, to clear major drains, clear major gullies, and so forth. So certainly not sufficient for what we were hit with, but under normal circumstances, the allocations that we make, I personally are very useful for that regard. Western, good question about the price of food and increases in gas and these other things. I'm happy that you have brought this to the national attention, and I have sent a note to the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment, and we are going to investigate this.
So when you listen to all, you see all the people them we put up a price them down at Westmoreland. All I know we put up a price them for the people them. The government is going to sanction you guys. And me hope is a hefty fine or a big tax package. And that me hope for. We're not too disturbing and disgusting somehow.
This issue. The only thing is that the
Michelle, I say we are free, so don't tell me if me are freeze, you know. Tell me if I'm not here.
order that we have put in place for price gouging is limited. It's not to every single good. It's limited to items and some essential things. So, but we will investigate this and ensure that there is enforcement, because in a time of disaster, everyone is expected to exercise good discretion in favor of the national recovery. Shelter, you raise issues about the supply of the shelters. Both yourself and the member from Eastern Westmoreland. Now, in Westmoreland, there was a particular problem. The Ministry of Labour and Local Government designates the shelters and provides resources generally to the council. It is under the disaster management structure. It is the councils that are supposed to stand up and manage the shelters. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security comes in, and I just want to be clear on this. They don't necessarily do distribution. What their role is to make sure that the distribution is done properly. So their role is to make sure that they identify the people who are in need, they identify the elderly and so forth. They bring with them some aid, yes, but in a situation like this, the logistics of carrying the aid is put to the JDF because they have the capability of managing that logistics. And when they work with the soldiers too, and volunteers, their role is to make sure that there is dignity in the distribution of the aid. If anything personally hurts me is to see people fighting over aid. Or when a truck comes in, everybody, people fighting, and we don't want that in our country. So there has to be some order and process that's quick and efficient. That
happen to Westmoreland, because Westmoreland people, them, nah, line up, they not follow no rules, no care. People then tell them, so if you line up, they not line up.
allows the people who really need it to get it and to record what is given. So in Westmoreland, there was a particular problem because, unfortunately, Madam Speaker, the shelter manager had a stroke, my understanding. And so the disaster coordinator. And so it contributed to the breakdown of the management of the entire process. So that was an unfortunate incident. She passed? Oh. Okay, good. So we're happy that she has recovered or is recovering. All right. So St. Catherine, yes, goods in transit that may arrive after the cutoff date as long as they were shipped before.
Okay, but that wasn't clear.
We will make that clear. Minister of Finance, we have to make that clear. You asked whether or not heavy equipment brought in for the purpose of relief. That's my interpretation. Now, what do you mean? That somebody's bringing in heavy equipment and it's going to stay here?
No, he said it's going to go.
But if it's going back, yes, there is the relief is given to them. But if it's going to stay here, you would have to take a second look at it, but right now it's no. If it's going back, they will get the relief. Yes. All right. You also asked about public health and mosquitoes. Portmore is already on our radar. You'll recall that after Beryl, there was a uptick in mosquitoes, and we were on it very quickly. So,
yo, I say mosquito bite me in a Beryl. I say, the day I sit down on the plane, I say, I'm not glad for go, you know, but I'm glad to me go left for mosquito.
it is already planned that we will be in Portmore. Oh. Sorry, remind me of that question. I didn't write it down.
One of the famous ghost stories about this place is made up by the people who owned the land who didn't want people to...
I couldn't answer because I didn't consult with the minister. All right, Eastern Hanover. Oh, yes, very important. So there is a program to give connectivity to the banks in the areas that are cut off from electricity and telecommunications. So they are working with the Banking Association to put Starlink and other forms of connectivity with the banks so that the ATMs can get back in operation. So that is, I would say, in a matter of days, you will start to see banks.
You see, for this, the government that try to help bank, and the government responsibility that, you know, bank supposed to bank all who hungry money, then supposed to buy their own Starlink, get in their own Starlink, and so they, as a matter of fact, they should have it before. Banking system and something was supposed to go down, none at all. And if this did England, they'd have to come before a committee, go ask why they don't have Starlink and why people can't, and what if people did dead. They'd have to go answer them something then, you know, before a select committee, you know. So when I say go on Jamaica, they're not supposed to go on.
ATMs, in particular, operational in some of these towns. You want to bring me into an argument about fees that, though I am personally sympathetic to you, and with the whole ideal that, you know, the banking sector should look at it as a part of national recovery, and we will use moral suasion in this regard, I couldn't here stand up in Parliament and make a policy for that. All right, Eastern Hanover. Maroon communities. When will the marooned communities be addressed? But you know, one of them was badly damaged, which we have to assess. Yes. So what I had said in my presentation, member, of the establishment of these hubs, that is the attempt to get to the marooned communities, because the hubs are not just for the storage of food and deployment, but they will have personnel. Some of them will have equipment, and they will start to cut roads and clearing ways to ensure that we get to the maroon. It is in action, and you will see action in your areas shortly. Northeast St. Elizabeth, paying shelter managers. Again, it's hard for me to tell you yes or no, make policy on the go.
I kind of want to get to the part, my people, where the Prime Minister talk about the funding when he replied to Mark Golden. So I'm going to skip to the part there, see? Let me see if I hit this. Then we're going to open up the phone line.
In your crib building, baby bouncing, picture snapping era. Well,
Members, could you turn your mics off, please? Prime Minister, could you turn your mic on, please? No, Prime Minister, just turn your mic on again, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Leader of the Opposition raised a few concerns, not really questions, but I will treat them as questions and answer them as such. Right, so, but I'll treat them as questions and answer them as such. The concern about healthcare. The government is taking it seriously. The Minister of Health has brought to Cabinet yesterday.
He have said so, priority champion. He have said so. 100%. Go on JIS and you will see it. Priority.
A budget.
Right, big up yourself, you know.
For the initial recovery of the healthcare system. We'll make that public very shortly as soon as we have resolved how we're going to fund it. But an important point towards the provision of healthcare. 7 days after the disaster struck, we can report that we have stood up a field hospital in Black River, sponsored by Samaritan Spurs. It is a 30-bed facility with operating theater, ICU, pharmacy. It comes with a helicopter, I gather. It has 60 staff members from the Samaritan Spurs, supported by Jamaican doctors, and they will be able to augment the services that are now very limited from the Black River Hospital for the entire St. Elizabeth. It is almost as if you have a brand new functioning hospital right there. Of course, it is temporary in infrastructure, but it will provide the service. We will have 4 more deployed around the island in short order, and these will be in the Noel Homes in Hanover, SAV in Westmoreland, and Cornwall Regional. So, and Falmouth, I missed Falmouth. I said 4 and I called 3. In the most affected areas, we will see a restoration of service delivery in healthcare that will ensure that the worst that we would expect after such a disaster does not materialize. As it relates to management, Leader of the Opposition, you will recall that last year I commissioned a review of our disaster response mechanism, because seeing it firsthand, I was not satisfied with the response. Though we did very well, we were able within 2 weeks to move to the recovery stage and so forth. But in today's world, everyone expects immediate, instantaneous response. People are not going to take into consideration that, because a small country, we don't have enough helicopters. It takes 3 or 4 days for the helicopters from our partners to get here. They're not going to be concerned that the roads are blocked and the equipment mobilization takes some time. When I look at the response of Jamaica relative to other countries that have been impacted by a Category 5, to report what we can report on day 6, which is yesterday. So, Madam Speaker, but having said that, we recognize that we must strengthen coordination so that the questions that you raise regarding certainty as to who is responsible, certainty of response. I mean, we have had a complaint that, someone is calling to give aid or to make an offer for something and they can't get a response. Or the person who answers says, I have to go and clear it at another, and then it takes so long to come back. These are issues which we have to resolve. And I would say to you, Leader of the Opposition, that in addition to moving ODPEM under OPM, we have also now appointed a new Director General. It's Commander Alvin Gale. He has been seconded from the JDF to take leadership of ODPEM, to streamline the operations of ODPEM. So we are taking the measures, and we will be doing other changes and restructuring as we are at the same time scaling up the relief effort.
Floor is now open to questions. Members, I would have had a discussion with the Leader of Opposition Business. We will continue to apply the standing orders. Please take a look at Standing Order 17, particularly 17B as it relates to Prime Minister's question time, and 17C as it relates to Minister's question time. Thanks, members. And this is particularly as it relates to national disasters and matters of national interest. Thank you. First member.
All right, so we are cut it there, so we can start take call on all my people. By the way, there is something else that I wanted to play, but I can't find it. Where the Prime Minister is actually answering Mark Golding about the 50 million that he want to give. But I listen to it this morning. I'm sure I download it, but I can't find it, my people. So the lines are open, by the way.
It's a Jamaican defense. Hi, it's Andres with Medicor. I just want to give a big shout out to the JDF, which is the Jamaican Defense Force, and the Jamaican government. I have never seen a disaster as catastrophic as this when it comes to a hurricane. And I have never worked with the government as capable and willing to partner to help the people. And I just really appreciate people have become the priority of all the operations of everybody that we're working with. And I know that many people are still desperate to get food and get water, but this is a very huge logistical task that requires a lot of players, and the government is willing to work with all of us. So thank you for doing that.
I want to just...
That I level illiteracy what we are dealing with, but what fancy really I try to say is that the Prime Minister got thief the money. In many cases, the Prime Minister is not holding on any money. The Prime Minister himself can't trouble no money. Any money come, it goes to the ministry, and the ministry must disperse it. The Prime Minister don't have personal access to any money or any bank account that the government owns. That is not the Prime Minister's job. See? Civil servants do that. Right? So, anybody that don't know about the operations of government, when the PNP was in government, they used to thief and criminal all kind of things. This is why Bruce Golding brought in not only the IC, but also Indicom and other things, to try and stave off the criminality that was embedded in the Jamaican system by the PNP in the 20 years that they were there. See? So when the PNP was there, they sank their tentacles into all parts of government, and all kind of criminality went on in there, and they all partake in it, and criminal from the Jamaica state, and the Jamaican state did not develop. None of that is going on now. Every ministry have to submit a monthly audit to the office of the Prime Minister to see what money goes where and what money is doing what, and if that money is not spent, it goes back to the kitten. See? Or to the kitty. That is responsible government. People don't know this because they don't follow up government and just listen to what people say and them talk out of their ass and they don't know anything about governance or government. See? John coming and the worldwide kitchen base in Mobile preparing hot meals with the... Yeah, so they are not only in Mobile, Dahlia, they are in Savlamar as well. They are in most places. Right? So Worldwide Kitchen is this person hot meals to persons. You know, stop tell lie on the PNP. That's what your guys are doing. 1 or 2 bias and lie. Well, on several occasions, we saw money went missing in Finzac under the PNP. We saw money went missing at Trafigura. We had the light bulb scandal. We had the furniture scandal. We had the used car scandal. We have multiple occasions where we have the zinc scandal. We have about 21 different occasions in the 20 years that the PNP stayed in government. Or the 19 years that they stayed in government. We have 21 different scandals. Operation Pride, $18 billion went missing in Operation Pride. Many amount of money went missing under the PNP. And today, up till this day, nobody not gone to prison for it. See? So, show we where money went missing under the Labour Party, and we will confirm with it, whether it is true or not. So just show us. Since they are stealing now, explain to us where they're stealing from and where we gone, where scandal. I am sure you see the orchestrated tear down of this government. And I am sure if they were stealing anything, you'd have find it on TV, you'd have find it on Glean, Observer, everybody you'd have find it there. So, see? So if you can show where stealing is occurring, we will conquer, basically. We'll agree or disagree. See? What the president name? Verna. So tell where stealing a go on Verna. Watch who Mark Gold and say Andrew have 28 bank account. You having 28 bank account no mean you steal nothing. It's not illegal if you have 28 bank account. Eh? We can't delete all of them, Bertie. We have to leave some of them to learn something. You know? But it goes without saying that persons get up and believe anything they are told. Mark Golding said Andrew will steal. When the fact are, it is on record that Mark Golding have benefited from the downfall of Jamaicans. See? Just imagine if the economy never crashed in the 90s. Jamaica would have been a more prosperous country today, you know. Mark Golding and Peter Bunting and the like, they helped to crash the economy. And hence why Jamaica never grew to its full potential. See? So if you are going to listen to Mark Golding and say, Andrew have 28 bank accounts, so he must have steal. And even if your statutory declaration is not declared, no means you steal nothing. It can be a simple technicality why certify. You know means you steal nothing. See? You can submit a document and then something is missing from it and then say, carry on. For example, the Integrity Commission want the Prime Minister to give them receipt from 2023. We in 2025 now. How much I want to still have receipt from 2025? From 2023 and 2022. How much I want to still have it? Because if you go a shop and you even buy something and you get a receipt. See? Give 2 months, 3 months, where they look on the blank. Whatever they on the receipt rub off. See? So, just because you have 28 bank account no means you steal anything. Where is the evidence? You can't just accuse people so they steal something and know Where evidence? See somebody has said me done say fuck, I explain to people them say you cannot say somebody steal something without evidence. There is evidence. There's one case where $30 million that was meant to go to the Jamaican Ministry of Finance was paid into a PNP bank account, a party bank account. Is that not stealing? And these same people, they know, you know. They know about it, but they choose to turn a blind eye because it is the PNP. And who much I want to benefit from it? Eh? If Mark Golding did that the Prime Minister and Mark Golding did that share up the NIR from 1 month ago, and then when this has started, I look, know what happened. Who know, do not know how Mark Golding and next April I come. And that would happen, you know. Who know who live nowhere, and next April I come. Taxes would have gone and GCT a go up and all kind of something a go up because Mark Golding spend out the money already. And budget out the money and promise one heap of people money and goodies. The PNP is not good for Jamaica. They are worse than this hurricane that just passed. When you hear me I tell you? They're worse than I better for everybody. Exactly, they would have been borrowing. And Jamaica would have been gone into debt. With GDP would have not climbed back up. Right now. We have the best people for the job now, my people. The best people for the job. They are there. We must thank God. See how them did it, because if them never did it, dog me out on a supper down there. See? Bev said she don't know why Melissa left some of them. I think the power line should be planted underground. Yes, the Prime Minister have said exactly that. Let me show you. I think I posted it yesterday. The Prime Minister have said exactly that. Yo, we have a forward thinking Prime Minister, you know. See that? Prime Minister said exactly that yesterday, the Prime Minister said. Me and the pony. So everyone can read it. That is exactly what the Prime Minister said yesterday. That they are looking to put the power stations underground now. Big up yourself, you know, okay?
No organization.
That is George Wright. Standing and looking what is happening yesterday. That is George Wright, you know. Standing at the back and looking what is happening. That doing for George Wright come and take up all of the something them and gone with them. See George Wright there? Stand up with his hand pan in Kimbo and look. Eh? You want that wicked man down that? A George Wright that, you know, stand up and look what go on. Man just stand up and look. And doing for say man come with truck and take up the whole life sitting there with them forget and gone with it. Eh? You want that wicked that set up people them now that man. Eh? Yes. Almighty God. I don't know what them are going to do. What we are going to do. What we are going to do with the bad people here? Because they not changing and they not plan to. Them are going to take one leader with a band now. And 20 years from now when I'm 20 in group and decide, alright, well, me like a PNP, I'm going to help clean up here and do something good. You know, look like they remember, say, a technological time, you know, when people have camera. You know, look like they remember. Why I tell other people? You know, it's rough. I tell you no. If I that we have to deal with, it not go pretty, my people. It not go pretty at all. See? Anyway, I'll call the live, you know, because we don't get no call, so I'll call the live and me soon this evening. See? Politics, as per usual, whole heap of things always are going, there's always something to talk about as it relates to politics. So we'll soon at 6 p.m. tonight. Big up all 216 persons here. Big up all 104 persons that gave me a thumbs up. And I will soon this evening. See? Much love, much respect. Shower liberates.